What's up, y'all? Welcome back. If you're new here, welcome to another video and welcome to the channel. Before we get super started on the car today, we have an update on the block and it's good news, so let's get into that first. Okay, so I heard back from the engine team at MAP and we have overall good news, which is super exciting. So I will go ahead and read you what they said to me and we can kind of dive into it from there. Overall, good news. Cylinder bore had normal wear, nothing unusual. They said rod bearings also had fairly normal wear, but the main bearings did show some excessive wear near the oiling holes, which told them that it was likely oil contamination, probably from all the metal shavings and all the crap that was in the head, which is a whole other. I'll link that video up top if you haven't seen that yet as to why we're in this whole spot to begin with. But yeah, anyway. Nothing was damaged though, so they said they are perfectly good to clean it up and rebuild it, which is really good news. What they're going to do is they're going to clean up the core, resurface it, freshen up the hone, and then clean and assemble with new piston rings, rods, and main bearings, etc., all assembled to their blueprint specs. They did say the pistons, rods, main studs, etc. were all good to reuse, so that's super exciting as well. And they said not too bad for a peace of mind, which is what I wanted in this whole thing to begin with, to make sure everything was 100%. But they did say, if you didn't send this into us, it would have ran fine for a while, but with that main bearing wear, it was definitely a ticking time bomb. And so, yeah. So essentially, that exhaust stud that was stuck in the cylinder head saved us the motor in the long run. That was super frustrating and all that, but had that thing came out, I would have never taken the engine apart. I would have never gotten into that and found all that stuff. And I was really mad about that stuff at first, the cylinder head issue and all that kind of stuff. But in the long run, it saved us a lot of headache and a lot of trouble, and I would have blamed myself for that because I wouldn't have known. I would have thought it's running fine, you know, whatever, and then it blows up, and then I've been like, well, I done something in the car, I took it out, I did all this work to it, it had to have been me. And so, in the end, I can't be too upset, if that makes sense, about it, because it did save us, and now we'll get the thing back, we'll get the block here, we'll get everything put in it, and we know it's all 100%, and we know everything is new and fresh, and so, can't be too mad, I guess. Overall, good news, the block will be back in 2 weeks now instead of 12, so that's really exciting. So that's going to pick up the pace on this thing, which I'm happy for. I was super bummed out that it was going to take 8 to 12 weeks. I was just that big of a setback at the ending stages here. Putting this thing back together was just like, man, can I just get it done? Like, we have been, I'm not trying to stretch these videos out, but I can only do so much in the time that I have. Like I said before, I only get like a day a week, maybe two on a good week to work on this thing. And so having that kind of setback was going to be kind of crappy. So yeah, 2 weeks and we'll see what we got. So with all that being said, we've got a lot of work to do here. We got, there's plenty of things to put into the car. So let's hop into the engine bay. We can put the AC lines back in, brake booster, all that kind of stuff over there can go back in the car. That way when the engine block does show back up, we're that much closer to getting it back into the car, and we just have to assemble the motor, pop it in, and we're good to go. Alrighty, we got brake booster going in, and right into that there hole in there, such as swimwear. There you go. Now, the real question is, how am I gonna keep this here while I go tighten it down on the inside? Shit. If it works, it works. All right, brake booster is in, bolted down. We got the plug right there. We got the hose over here. We got everything buttoned up in this corner, I do believe. We tightened down the clutch line there. I think all that's left to do now is to run these lines over to the reservoir. All right, we're just here in the brake lines here, trying to get them ran. I had these two kind of switched. The left-hand side over here on the module, the left port goes to the top of the reservoir. And so I had it switched around. This line was kind of having to like get into a bend to get it to go in there. Kind of getting a twist in it, and I didn't like that, obviously. And I was like, huh. So I started looking, and I had them switched around, so the other line goes right into the top there, pretty straight. So we're switching them around, moving this line from the right to the left, and then we'll run it, and we'll wrap this around, and we'll get it in there just like that. Actually, we'll just do it this way for right now. and then we can adjust and do whatever we gotta do. Push this through right there. Well, maybe that there works. Just runs right up top. Doink, right to it. Awesome. So, I think UPS is here. Thread that in. These lines are such a good addition to this engine bay, I'm telling you. They just look so good. I still kind of in all over it. Down and around, mayhaps. Oh, that's pretty perfect right there, actually. Boom. I think that's going to be a good way to run it. I will, I'm still waiting on my hose like separators and guides to show up, but we can get these in there for now and get them kind of tucked away how we want them to be and get an idea how we're going to run them. And then once the things show up, we should be good to go. But that's a pretty good split right there. So I like that. I need to get a P-clamp or something like that to mount this right here. But also, I don't know if I want to have that hose hanging around just like that. Maybe for now we'll just tuck it right here. Alrighty. And now I do feel confident to put in the AC lines, that they'll be okay to pop in there. So let me get this off and we'll carefully pull that back. Huzzah. Right like that, if I'm not mistaken. Boom. And then that gets bolted on. But this thing goes on first. Damn. Harness is in the way. There we go. Much better. I definitely don't want to scratch this up. In there, and then in there, and then that goes on, right like that. So a couple more things on these AC lines here. The low pressure and the high pressure caps there, they're in pretty good shape. They don't look too bad, but you know what's better? Titanium. I think that kind of buttons up the AC lines for right now. There is still some stuff inside that I can mount on here. While I'm here at the front, I'm gonna go inside and grab it real fast. Hang on one sec. I went ahead and picked up a brand new power steering cooling line. Mine was super cruddy. Let's go take a peek. I mean, it wasn't super bad, but it's got a bunch of funk on it. It looks a little cruddy, and so I figured while it was still available from Mitsubishi, I would go ahead and get a brand new one. So yeah, let's pop that on real fast. Also, I'm not sure if you can tell or not, but it is like literally 101 degrees outside today, so it is really hot in this garage, and it reminds me that I need to get a fan. And you might say, just open the door. It just makes the hot air come in faster, so it's best to have it shut and deal with the stuffy air right now, but fan is on the list. All right, I'm gonna end this off here. I know the last couple of videos haven't really had a lot of substance in getting things done, it seems like, but we're making progress, we're moving forward, things are on the way, and so we got kind of thrown off track there, but I hope you guys understand, and we should have some good strides coming about getting this thing back together once that block gets back and all that stuff. So yeah, thanks for sticking with me, thanks for watching, I do appreciate it very much as always. Drop a comment down below, let me know what you guys think about the process, the progress, and if you have any questions, drop those down there as well, and I'm glad to help much as I can, chat, whatever, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.